This here is a Hay Dolly. My friend loaned me this thing. I'm going to go use it to get a round bale of hay. What you do is you let this part down, you back up under the hay with the little posts right there, and then you winch it back up. You see the winch like a boat winch, and winch it all the way back until it rests on this thing. So I just finished lubing it up. Give her a little test run here. I'm going to let it down first, just making sure all the cables and everything. See the cable's a little dry. Putting some spray here. So if you have a bale of hay on there, it's going to be heavy, and you have to keep control of this handle. It'll take it out of your hand. So when you get to the bale of hay, you let it down like this, and you back up under it, and then you crank it up so it pivots right here. This is like the axle, I guess. It pivots here, and then it has this big support, and it's got this hook with the little pulley, and then the cable goes all the way back to the winch. So you just bring this thing all the way back to here and tighten it, and that's how you know it's ready to go. So now we'll flip the switch, put it in forward gear. Now it's going to start bringing it back to us. So now it's almost there on this side, and it's already there on the other side. So we just bring it a little bit more, and that's good. So that when you pull it back like this, it's made in such a way that the weight of the hay holds this down by itself. Once you get it past that point, it's all hay then. I got back from the hay getting place, and here we have our hay on the Hay Dolly. We're going to wheel it to the back for the goats to eat. Wanted to show you how the weight of the hay balances over the axle so that it's not putting a whole lot of stress on this cable. Now this cable is holding it from the winch, but it's not, most of the weight is resting on this bar right here. It's just pulling it, holding it in place. So this hay is from last year, actually. And I was surprised because last year we got a roll of hay, and this one weighs more than that one, and it's been drying out for a year. So maybe it was at the end of the year. I don't know. So you see how when I drove up underneath it, this fork got lined up just right, and this one just couldn't quite get lined up. So it kind of stabs through the mesh that wraps the hay. They call it hay wrap. But that's fine. It made it down the road. Now sometimes if you get one that's been sitting a long time and it's real rotten on the bottom, all that rotten stuff's gonna be falling off when you're driving down the road. So you want to try to get one that's not like that. You have a problem. I'm going to take these panels right here that we keep stored on the fence for the east side, and I'm going to move it here for these vehicles to go around the truck and around the car. And then I'm going to move the goats in, all in here, and let them eat all this stuff to keep them busy while I take this to the back. Because they've already eaten up the east side, and they've eaten up the south side. I mean, they ate all that ivy. They ate everything over there. They ate the crap out of that rose bush. All those weeds on the rock pile, everything's eaten up. So I'll let them eat here. And over here where I've been watering this catappa tree, now it's got a lot of green grass in here, fresh stuff. So they'll really be interested in this, and that'll give me time to get this roll of hay moved. All right, so we're going to cut through this gate, post here, and this hay dolly is very wide. I'm having to look in my mirror, see where I'm at. So you see those low-hanging power lines right here? I turned off the power. Those are the same lines we did with the roof attic vent. I already turned off the power, and I've already done this in the past. So you see these power lines right here? The truck can fit under it, but that bale of hay can't make it. It's too tall. So I got to pull up and just kind of help it over. So you see the top power line made it, but this lower one didn't. So I just have to set it up and over. Now we'll be all clear. Yeah, that ought to do it. So we're going for right there. This place sure seems a lot smaller when you get back here with a vehicle. I'll tell you that. A little golf cart's a little different story. That's where we want it. So I've got the hay bale placed about where I want it. This is the far north fence. There's the fence over there. So you can see if I drop this hay right here, I've got a little bit of room to work beside between the fence and the hay. And also, it's going to be rolling downhill. So when I cut off this wrap, they call this stuff hay wrap or net wrap or something. It's just some kind of a plastic stuff. And you just cut it off with a knife. But you have to kind of roll the hay a little bit to be able to get the plastic out from under it. So now all I need to do is just let it down, and then I'll pull out from under it and crank it back up, and we'll be done with the hay dolly. So this hay right here, for last year's hay, that is some heavy hay. Tell you what, I can feel it on the back of this truck hard. All right, so I got to keep control of this handle. When it starts going down, it's going to try to, you know. All right, now I'll flip the switch. It's not hard to keep control. You just don't want to let it go. If you let it go, the cable gets all out of whack. It's really trying to take the handle out of my hand right now. So now we just have slack here now. So there's no more weight on the frame of the dolly. So I'll just be able to slide out from under it with the truck and just pull the truck forward. But I have to remember these power lines, so I've got to kind of give myself some room and get out. Okay, now the hay dolly frame is down, so I just need to crank it back up so that it meets this and we'll be ready to go. So flip the little switch back to forward and put the cranks on it. Just bring it till it rests on this square frame and put a little click or so of tension, and that's all we need. So there it goes, resting on the square frame. That's it. That'll hold it, and that'll be low enough to clear the power line, so we'll be good and ready to roll on out. Well, this is the parking place for right now. I've got a little inspection to do on this, but this is the safety pin for the hitch. Just slide this off the end right here, clips out of the way. It goes through a hole right here, so it keeps the hitch thing from coming open. So to open it, it latches inside here and it lifts this up. So you pull this and pull it back like that. Now it'll be open and we can put this away. And we'll take this cinder block right here and we'll put it underneath. That way the hitch won't lay in the dirt. We don't want to get a bunch of dirt and mud up under it and get it all rusty. So I'll just take it off of the truck Here we go. So I got this thing just a little bit crooked. So I'm going to push on it. First of all, see if I can even move it. And that will tell me how I'm going to cut this net wrap off. And you just use a regular old utility knife. So I'm going to put this in my pocket. Let me get a push on this thing and see what it's going to do. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, it's all there. Okay. So that direction is downhill. So I'm going to cut underneath here so that I can just take the net wrap and fold it back all the way across to this side, and then hopefully roll the bale of hay off of the net wrap. Sometimes you can grab a hold of it and pull it out. We'll see how it works. It's really a matter of getting all the net wrap cut. So let's see. Okay. Looks like we got everything here. A couple of little stragglers. Looks like it's working out pretty good. What happens if you don't pull this off now? The animals are gonna, well, they'll pull it all off, and then they'll step on it when it's raining and smush it into the ground. Then what you end up with, I'll show you what that is. End up with this. That is baling twine, which you don't see as much anymore. And who knows where it came from? Probably just blew in here from somewhere, but somewhere it was on a bale of hay. So being how this is a year old, if I grab a hold of this net wrap and it tears on me, it's going to suck. So I'm going to try to roll the hay bale first. And two, the reason why this is a year old, I learned something about this. I worked at a place where there were a lot of hay baling people there, customers. And what happens if the weather, depends on the weather. If the weather is permitting, they'll bale their hay, and they may not use it all if the winter is mild or something like that. So a lot of these customers are coming in, they've got 300 rolls left from last year, 500 rolls left from last year. So they won't bale this year. They'll just shred it. And that's the reason why this is from last year. This is one of those customers with 500 bales left over from last year. So it sells a little cheaper, but because I mean, it's a little bit scorched from the sun, but that only goes down a few inches. And as heavy as this was on the back of my truck, I know that's good on the inside there. So let me see if I can just kind of push and roll this thing here. This might be a different challenge. Now, let me see if I can roll this bale. Oh, man. Can't get it. It's got a flat spot on the bottom. All right. I guess I could push it with the tractor or something. Let me see if I can pull this out. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh. So I used the net wrap, help me lift it up. See the flat spot on the bottom? Oh, after sitting for a year. I don't want it to start rolling away. So I'm trying to be careful. Okay. Well, the net wrap stayed strong. Now I'm going to roll it back onto the flat spot again. There we go. Oh boy. That other bale of hay I had was only a few months old, so it was still around. It was easy to roll. All right, let me go get a hay ring. These two things right here, these are hay rings. So you put them around the hay bale. They're pretty easy to move. I've even moved them over fences before. So all you do is just start rolling like this. So we have feet on this end, and you can see the things are smaller here where supposedly the animals won't go in. They just put their head between a big spot right here. But it doesn't matter, these goats will climb all off in it. The last time I got that bale, last year, I didn't put the hay ring on until later. And they had already pulled it down because they like to jump on top of it and everything. And it's hot out here today. It's 102, 103. So those low hanging power lines, I'm going over here by the pole, so they'll be up higher. Power's still off to them, but just easier. See the power lines and the way the pole makes them go up higher. So the hay ring just goes right under. Now you line it up with the hay bale. Now I'm just gonna push it over on top of the bale. Like that. Now, see, if the goats start pulling it off, they will, this stuff on top's kind of rotten, you know, so they're gonna pull it off. So this other stuff here, it'll just spread out and it'll smash down inside. It'll get all inside here and it'll be a big, thick, round pile. Whereas that other one started to spread out like a big cow patty. So that is the end of the fun with the hay bale today. So the goats are going to be happy. Everything out here is going dormant. It hadn't rained in probably 6 weeks. We might get a little rain this weekend here in 2 or 3 days, but this is the 1st of August And it's traditionally around here, especially during El Nino, it's going to be hot and dry. That's pretty typical for El Nino year. All right, so we'll leave this for them. They'll be happy when they get home this evening.